What in the world is happening with King County real estate? Well, let's check out what happened last year and look to see what that means for 2021. All right, so 2020. What are you going to say about 2020? Don't start, okay? I'm a commitment to not use scatological language on these things, so we won't talk very much about 2020 other than look at that graph, man. That is a really nice straight up line in terms of real estate appreciation. 2019, pretty flat area, 2019, right? Now, if you go back a couple more years, right? Even that 3 years, let's go back 3 years, take a look. Up 2017 to 2018 to 2019, up 2019 to 2020, flat. That was the breather you were looking for. Anyone thinking, oh, everything can't go up forever? Well, 2019 was really a breather year, pretty clear, okay? We're at 7.5% up in King County over last year. Pretty nice appreciation, okay? That's a sustainable rate. It's not double digits. It's certainly fantastic, especially given the interest environment and where else you're going to put your money. So that's a pretty solid appreciation. What that looks like graphically and why it's that way and what that tells us about 2021 is illustrated in this. This is the supply and demand graph for King County over the last 3 years. And what you can see, the blue is the demand. Blue is pending, the houses that went under contract. The green is the supply, the new listings that came on the market. Okay, so what you can see clearly is in 2018 and 2019, certainly 2019, you got this peak in supply, over 4,000 units. You never got over 3,500 in 2020. All right, very few. And then, over 2018, you can see that the demand, the blue lines are fairly similar between 2018 and 2019, but look at how much higher the demand goes in 2020. So you've got 2020 really was a perfect illustration of supply and demand. Decreased supply and increased demand popped us out of the pause that we were talking about in 2019. So 2020 was a real year for growth in terms of prices because supply went down, demand went up every time, right? Supply and demand, not just a good idea. It's the law. When you look at just December to December to December, an interesting thing you see now. The problem with comparing just 1 month is, first of all, it's a small data set. Second is December is the smallest data set in terms of the number of houses on the market. So you get some data inconsistencies when you use small data sets. But what's interesting about it to me is that, relatively speaking, December in 2018, December in 2019, December in 2020, there was actually a decrease in the differential between supply and demand. That is, there was more supply than demand. There was more. It was, how do I say it? There was less demand compared to supply. That's how you say it. There was less demand compared to supply in December of 2020, which was overall an anomaly for the year. Overall for the year, supply and demand was skewed heavily toward, decreased supply, increased demand. But December, not so much. Now, it really went from 34% in 2018 to 33% to 29%. So you had relatively more supply than demand compared to that. You still had more demand than supply, period. But compared to the last 3 years, it was a trend that was going toward more supply. What does that mean? Well, first of all, who knows? But by all indications, 2021 could be the time when more people decide to sell. Why? Because it takes people a while to get around to deciding to sell. They are hesitant to sell. They don't know where they're going to move, things like that. And you now have reached a frenzy. If you've read anything in the media about prices, nothing I just said is a surprise. Therefore, people have been thinking about selling. This December could be the first indication of more people deciding to sell. like I said, 1 month doesn't mean a lot. And certainly December is even less indicative, just given the amount of data. But it wouldn't be surprising if you saw more people decide to sell. What does that mean for you? Well, if you're out to buy in this market, you got to be prepared for bidding wars. I don't think we're even coming close to a buyer's market. Nothing I said is going to be a collapse of the market or a decrease. It's just going to make it a little bit easier for you come the spring. We'll see if that pans out. If you find someplace now, great, be prepared. If you don't, you can hang on. It should ease up this year. If you're out to sell, I'd get on that train today. I would get this thing sold now. If you're thinking about it, let's get it moving because you're in a super hot market. And if it does flip, you want to have sold sooner rather than later. So your situation is unique. Every neighborhood is unique. Every situation is unique. If you have questions about yours, let me know. Happy to help with that. Aaron Hendon with Christine and Company over at eXp Realty. Message me, share this, subscribe, do all those great internet things. Let me know what questions you have. Talk to you soon.